This conference will now be recorded.
Right, let's start today's session. So in the last session, we were discuss about Django project creation. Hello, who is Mr. KV? Can you please mute your audio? Hello, mute your audio, please, all of you. Yeah. So in the last session, we just started with the Django project. So we completed all 5 demo lectures. In the demo lectures, we discuss what is Django, how to work with Django, and how to create a project directly by using PyCharm Professional Editor. So we will discuss all of this. So let's flip to PyCharm Professional Editor first, and let me open existing project right now. So this is PyCharm Professional Editor. So this is not your project. To open existing project, go to File menu of PyCharm Professional Editor and click on Open. And after opening, you can choose the location of your project you have saved. So I just saved the project location in C drive in users folder, the computer name and desktop, and look at this Django 6:30 a.m. is the folder name. In this folder I just created Django project 6:30 a.m. is project name. Click on OK, click on this window. So I'm just opening Django project here clearly. Okay, so we were discussing in the last session. So application, look at this, two applications are there here, my app and then my app one also there here. Look at this, my app one. So each and every application is having URLs as a view section. Look at this, view is there, and here my app one also is having views. How Django project executes means this is, as I said in the last session. So first the client will send request to the server, and client request goes to Django server, and it will identify the URLs. Okay, now here you can see this. This will go to view section. In case view wants to communicate with model, and final response if you wants to display templates, template is there. Here database is there. So this is the Django execution process. So from here client is going to send request client, and here it is Django server. Server can identify the URLs by using urls.py file. Using urls.py file, server can communicate with views, which view is going to be required to execute views.py file. In case view wants to communicate with models, so then it will communicate with models.py file. And models means represent database only, so it will interact with DB database. And then finally view wants to display the response to the template means templates folder, it will get templates. So this is exactly how Django instant response is going to take place, sir, actually. Okay, so you know that Django is completely based on MVT pattern, model view template, like this, model view template. So model represent database, view represent Python logic, template represent use UI, presentation layer, user interface. So look at this, the moment when I start server right now, look at this, two applications are having their views. So multiple views are there. That's what we are working with. Multiple views are there in each and every application. That's what we are working with, application level URLs. Look at this, each and every application I have included application level URLs, v1, v2, multiple views are there here. Now in this my app one URLs is there v1 v2. Yes, two v1 v2 are v1 v2 are this project application level URLs we have to include into project level URLs. I have already included my app one. So let's start the server first. Before start the server, look at this. We have to activate our virtual environment. Okay, because I just create this project completely through step by step with command prompt virtual environment. So my virtual environment name is this one, the Django 630M folder. Virtual environment name is my env only. How to activate virtual environment means, so two dots backslash. One dot is moving towards Django project 630M. One more dot is moving towards Django 630M folder. So virtual environment is mynv slash scripts slash activate. And look at this, it is failed. Why it is failed? Let me check this. Okay, there is a spelling wrong. So mynv slash scripts slash activate. Yes, it is activated now. Look at this. So my env is activated virtual environment. After that, we have to start the server. To start the server, python space manage.py run server. The moment when I start server, look at this. We got this link. When I hit this link, immediately first request goes to where, sir? Project level URLs. So you just try to understand the flow first. Okay. Yes, my virtual environment is in my desktop only. That's what I have included into that one only. My desktop means project folder I created. 630M folder is there. In that I am just moving. This project was created through command prompt. Okay, in your case, I think so. No need to activate virtual environment because you have created directly project by using file menu, new project. Okay, Django. Like it, if you create like this, no need to activate virtual environment because virtual environment automatically activated for you. So now the moment when I start server, now you can see this. So when I click on this, it requests directly first request goes to where? Project level URLs. And in this project level URLs, it will ask you to URL name. Which URL do you want to proceed? My app or my app one? So you have to choose this. For example, if I choose my app one, again it will go to my app one.urls. My app one is your application. It is also having URLs and these also having two URL names again, v1 and v2. Two views are there in the views folder. If I hit this v1, it will go to views.v1 views folder. Here v1 is there. V1 is having return HTTP response. This is v1 from my app one. V2 means this is v2 from my app one, like that. Let's hit this request. Now you can see it is asking the URL name. Let me show you. Slash my app one slash v1 I'm taking. So this is v1 from my app one. Suppose v2 I'm taking. This is v2 from my app one. If you want to execute my app, so other application means your application my app slash v1. So this is v1 view from my app only. And now v2 view from my app only, like this. So this is working with multiple application and multiple views also. In my previous session we discussed this all. Okay, so those who are new to this session, please I recommend to watch 5 lectures of demo lectures of Django compulsory, otherwise you can't understand. Yes, now today, see, in the last session we just included normal response. Look at this, we are sending request from client. That means starting the server. Whenever I hit the link 127.0.0.1 colon 8000 port number, so we are connecting with the Django server. Django server directly redirected to urls.py for your project. That URLs names are there like my app one. Okay, so many URLs are there. That URLs through I'm trying to get urls.py file through. I'm communicating with the view section urls.py through. So in this urls.py, uh, so many URLs are there, my app or my apps, my app one like this. Using that application, we are communicating with views. View is giving response, normal response, HTTP response. But look at this here, no template is involving, no model is involving. Okay, only View is giving response for us. Look at this last application, my app one. Now you can see here in the view section. So look at this, HTTP response is giving response. There is no template. Template means, do you have any page display or any HTML pages coming as a response? No, it is only normal HTTP response with normal HTML code only. But we are injecting here, you can see H1 section, and this is V1. This is Python logic. Python logic and HTML page, HTML logic we are using in one location only, views.py. But that's not good idea. So we can separate them, Python logic separate and HTML pages separate. That's what we are using template response now. How to include template and how to work with the template response, we'll see this. Okay. For this, I'm trying to create a new application. Let's see this. To create new application, what we need to do? Terminal window. In terminal window, lot of code is generated. Do you want to exit from this? Control C. Control C. After that, you are moving back to your virtual environment. And do you want to clear the screen? CLS. To clear the screen, CLS. After clearing the screen, CLS. Now you can see here I have to create a new application. To create a new application, Python space manage.py start app. Okay, start app. New application is my app 2 I'm giving. So I'm going to follow the series. My app 1, my app 2, like this one. Python space manage.py start app, my app 2. So I'm creating a new application. So application is created. How do you know that? Just click with project. Automatically my app 2 is added. It's new application created. You know very well, the moment when we add new application to your Django project, immediately we have to go to settings.py. There we have to include my app2 application name into settings.py compulsory. We have to include over there. So because this is information which we are passing, I am working with my app 2. So my app 2, we can expand Django project 630 am settings. Settings is global file. So here already I just inform two application names here, but recently just we have added new application. We have to include new application also, my app 2 slash like this. So my app 2 new application name. So this is important for every day. So the moment when we create new application, that we have to include into my app 2 only. Okay, yes. So that is the case. Who joined with the name student? Okay, please. Yeah, we need to add templates also to create it. Please provide your name, Mr. Student. Please provide your name while joining the session, proper names only. Otherwise, I will terminate you if I don't find your proper names in the list only. Okay, otherwise unnecessarily you will exit from the meeting. Again, you should not ask me. So that's what, please join the session with proper names. So who joined student? Within 5 minutes, you have to change your name. Otherwise, I'll terminate this from this session. Okay. Please correct the name. Instead of student, you just provide your name for display purpose. Within 5 minutes, I'll terminate you for sure. Now coming to this, my app2 is what? Your application name. This is my app2 is added in settings.py. Fine, sir. After that, so look at this Django project 6:30 am. It is project is located clearly. Now we should focus on my app2 now. So let's go to my app2 and I want to create a view here. But this view I'm going to use for template response, not HTTP response. Okay, template response means render is required. HTTP response means not render is required. In my previous application, I used HTTP response like this from django.http import HTTP response. But this is not required for us because I want to display the details into templates only. So that's what I'm taking here clearly. Template response. Template response purpose it is rendering is required from django dot shortcuts import render. Okay, this is the case. Now let me create a view. So you can take any name of the view, not a problem. Okay, suppose my view I'm taking, it's my name of the function based view only. My view and request object here. The moment when I take request object here, I am going to return. Previously I used the HTTP response. Now this time you can say this return render I'm using. Render, render. So render is important, sir. Render method is important. Okay, render method. Okay, is render means like Hiroko? No, that is not. Rendering means it is a process of converting your request data into template format, client understandable format. That is render method. So from django.shortcuts import render, rendering, we are rendering the page. So return render and for current request we are rendering. After rendering your after processing your requested data, where you want to render that response, my page. Suppose index.html page I'm preparing. But we don't have index.html page. Look at this. Okay, I will try to show you. So now this is my function based view. This is one of the view, my view. Okay, generally method is whenever we use the name of the method or function name two parts, better to use underscore symbol, my underscore view. This is the valid name. So request object, return render current request we are rendering, index.html page will be load. So to execute this by underscore view, so what we need to set URL we need to set no. So URL how to set that is project level URL I have to set that project level URLs. Okay, let me show you how to work with project level URLs. We'll see this. Project level URLs are required. So df my underscore view request return render current request index.html. Let me check the URLs. How to add the urls.py for your application. Actually, generally for every application there is no URLs. So that's what here my app to right click and go to new Python file and I'm adding urls.py. urls.py. Once urls.py is added, we have to write this code from django.urls import path from your application name is what sir? My app to import views. Yes. So you have to write URL patterns here. URL patterns equals to path. Then which URL do you want to execute? I don't want to mention the name. Directly I want to hit the request. So now views dot what is the view name? My view. This is function based view. So if you just try to write this code here, okay, from django.urls import path. Path is a method here, and from my app to import views because I'm going to calling my views only from my application to. That's what I'm including. Views dot my view is the function based view I'm using as a URL pattern. But if you don't know how to write this code, simply you can go and copy paste this urls.py directly from other application to your application also. But just practice it this every day so it will be useful. So once we set the URL configuration under project application level, my app to, but we have to inform this my app to URLs also into project level URLs or not. Yes, we have to inform that. How to inform means go to project level URLs, double click on it. And here already we included previous application URLs. Now this time I am including what? My application URLs. Include my app to dot URLs. Yes. Now coming to this my app to dot URLs I'm including. So why I am not giving any name of the URL names are here? Simple. Uh, because my request directly should consider my app to dot URLs only without entering any name of the URL at the time of running. So directly I can go to my app to URLs. Immediately it will go to my app to. In this URLs again there is no name of the URL. Directly I can execute views.myview only. Okay. So what happen if I give the names? If you give the names here, you have to wait for your request. It will ask you my app to name. If you enter in the URL section, then only it will allow you to execute this my app to URLs. So anyway, we are working with current application. I don't want to give the names here. If I give the names again in the URL address, I have to hit the name also clearly. So without hitting name, what I am directly running. So the moment when I start server and when I click on that link, http colon 127.0.0.1 colon 8000, directly it will go to here. Request goes to project level URLs. There is no name of the URL is what actually this is my app to URLs. Directly it will go to my app to URLs. Here also there is no name of the URL. Directly it will call what my view only. Directly it will go to views.py and my view will execute here. The moment when it will execute my view, then request index.html page will be there. But actually I have provided the name called index.html, but I don't have any index.html. Wantedly I'm doing, you will get error obviously. Okay, template is not there here. Let's see the run the server and let's check out quickly. But note this point, now this time in the view section, I'm not using HTTP response. Previous application, you can see this. I'm using HTTP response. Look at this, not render. Render is inactive now. HTTP response is active now because in this view through I'm giving HTTP response. So now this is the normal response and now this is template response I'm giving. So when I start the server, let's see this, start the server now, start the server. The moment when I start the server, you will be able to see this link. The moment when I hit this link, automatically you can see this, what's going to happen. Template does not exist at index.html. Do you have any template like with name index.html? No template. That's what it is. It is getting what actually template does not exist error it's coming. Template does not exist error. Template does not exist error. Okay. So we have to include templates, sir. So where we have to include templates, index.html page through. So we have to include templates. Template generally where we have to include means here we have to include, sir, in the templates folder. Look at this template folder I have included. Right click on it, templates folder, go new, and how to add HTML template here, HTML file template. So this is the way to add HTML template. So look at here once again, templates folder. But the moment when we create the project through command prompt, generally you don't find templates folder. Okay, so directly if we create a Django project using PyCharm professional editor, template folder by default it will be configured. But this project when I was created through command prompt step by step, there I don't find templates folder by default. So when we don't find templates folder by default, you have to add template folder under your project. How to add? Right click on project, go to new directory. You have to add, give the name templates. Okay, I have already given the name template. That's what we got this template folder. But make sure that this template folder name is registered in the settings.py or not also you have to observe. In settings.py, look at this templates folder name is registered or not. Yes, it is registered. Normally it will not be there. You have to come to here in the templates and we have to include the templates folder name here under dirs. But this is not required because whenever we add a new project in PyCharm professional editor directly, this automatically integrated, no need to worry about this. Okay, so I'm just giving clarity. So template folder, inside I have to create templates. Right click on templates folder, go to new, and HTML template file I'm creating. My template name is index.html. Give the name is index.html. What name you have given? This is automatically a template folder contain index.html. HTML page is going to be created, sir. Look at this HTML. So this built-in text is created. Doc type HTML, language English, head section, meta section, character set, Unicode transformation format 8 standard, text of the page, body section. So mostly from tomorrow onwards, we are going to focus on HTML basics, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, all 1 week sessions. We will literally stop the Django sessions for 1 week continuously. I will focus on UI, user interface section. After that, I will come back with Django again. Okay, yes. Now coming to this here, in this case, I'm trying to give my template preparation H1. So this is index page I'm taking. So I have to know that whether it is index page or not after visiting through view only. Now this index.html page, how it is display, the moment when we execute my app to view section, view is going to give render that response into text index.html. We are requesting through this view. I'm executing this function based view, my view. In the return response, what we are getting? Render for current request. Your result will be render into index.html page only. Render method is used to convert your server side code into client side understandable format, that is template. Index.html is a client side only, completely template. Now you will get template response. Look at this. We are executing this view, and in the return response we are getting what? Page only, HTML page. In the HTML page, what is there? This is index page only. You will get response like this. Let's see this. Control C. Now run server. Once you started server, now you can see this is, you got response here. So this response is not normal HTTP response, it is a template response. Why? Because we are seeing completely template page only in our window here. This is index page clearly here. Okay, yes. So this is template responser. Template also we have introduced it clearly. So this is template. In model view template, what we introduce? View logic, you know. Okay, template, we got this response. So we are sending client request to Django server. Django server can identify the URLs. Along with URLs, it will call the view, my view. My view is going to uh, take the client request and return response into templates only. So views, templates are okay, fine. Next, it's time to introduce what? Models also. Okay, models also here. So models means what? Actually represent database, sir. Listen carefully. This is very important section. How to prepare model and database related files. We'll see this. Models.py, sir. Model represent database. Okay. Normally to create any database table, so we have to go to that particular database location. Like if you are using MySQL, you have to go to MySQL. If you are using SQLite 3, you have to go to SQLite 3 database. Completely have to go to backend. There we can prepare the table. No, how to prepare the table? Create table, table name, okay, column name, ID, integer, name, varchar, something like that you have to create. But we are not going to do that kind of things in Django MVT pattern, because in Django MVT pattern, object relational mapper is there. ORM tool is there. Object relational mapper. ORM we can call it as ORM. So object relational mappers are ORM in the sense. Object relational mapper is there. This ORM tool will generate automatically the code through, it will create a database table and the database fields, table fields also automatically generated. This ORM tool is there, object relational mapper. But only the thing is in the models.py file, it's a Python file. In the models.py file, we need to write Python logic. Through the Python logic, it automatically create the tables. SQL statements will be generate, migration files will be generate. According to that files, automatically tables will be created. That is the case. Okay. Yes. So let's begin models.py, how to prepare, sir. So see, simple. The moment when you want to write Python logic, all the ways you have to come to views.py file. Here we have to write Python logic. If you want to write any template code, you have to go to template folder, HTML files you have to create, and there we can manage what you want to display to the end user. UI means UI completely managed with the template folder. Python logic completely managed with views.py, and database stuff related, database model classes. If you want to prepare, then models.py is required, because model represent database. We have seen view, how to write view, function based view. We have seen template response, how to do this. Now we have to show models.py. Once you got this idea model management, then we will stop the Django sessions literally from tomorrow onwards. 1 week sessions. I'll conduct HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. Once you got idea about completely UI technologies, then again we will start Django sessions continuously from there onwards. Because every Django developer at least must and should aware of that HTML, tags, CSS, rules and regulation, JavaScript functions, how to write and how to validate all these things. Okay. Yeah, we can use this pandas matplotlib. We can able to use visualization purpose also. Okay, if you are my student of Python, you might be understand better way, because I think you are not looking my students. So I have covered already pandas matplotlib visualization concepts in our Python course. We can able to plot it, not a problem. Yeah. Now you can see we are going to use object relational mapper now for creating models. Model represent database. So to manage your models, where we have to go first of all. So simple logic to manage models. First look at this. We are working with myapp2. So in the models.py, you have to open models.py. The moment when I click on models.py, so it is asking create your models here only. From django.db import models. All model classes are inherited from this models library only. Now model class means it's a Python file again. So Python code through I'm generating my models. Okay, let's see this. Model means database table. So let's create a class here. Class name is employee. Okay. And this employee class need to be inherited from models.model. So model is a base class. Models is a library. Library name dot model. And every model is inherited from base model, that is called models.model, M capital letter. And you can create model fields what you want. Suppose I am taking employee name. So models dot character field I am taking in bracket I am taking max length equals to 20. Meaning is what? Models dot char field. So name of the employee character field, maximum length of the name is 20 characters I am taking. Next I am taking address equals to models dot char field and max length equals to 30 I am taking. And mail I'm taking mail equals to one of the model field. Email field I'm taking max length also I'm taking 30. Finally age equals to employee age, models dot integer field I'm taking. That's all. Like this you can prepare any number of fields with model. So what code it is? Python logic code. And that too we prepared class. You know about Python classes, how to create. So in models.py we have created simple class name is employee class. This employee class is inherited from built-in models.model, and this all model fields only, name, address, mail, age, like this. And what type of data type you want to take, name, char field, email field, integer field, length also we can decide that. So here I have created just a simple Python class program with class name called employee with class fields are what actually name, address, mail, age only. So this will create this class file through we are going to create a database table. Sir, what will be the database table name? Your class name will be act as a table name, database table, and your class fields are act as a columns in database table. Who generate SQL statements based on this model class employee class means ORM tool will generate. Object relational mapper will generate SQL statements and migration file also. So based on it, model class. So employee is a model class. Based on this model class, object relational mapper will generate migration file. Along with migration file, it will generate what? SQL statements. SQL statements means creating table purpose. It will generate SQL statement, creating table purpose. Okay, SQL statement will generate, sir. So let's see this, how it will generate SQL statement. Okay, yes. But before that, look at this. In this every application, one migration folder is there. Look at this in migrations folder. There is no migration file is generated. Okay, got my point? Yes. Migration file is not generated. How generate migration file will be generate means after creating this model class, immediately go to terminal. You have to pass one important command. What is that? Python space manage.py make migrations. This is compulsory, sir. Python space manage.py make migrations. Sir, what happen if I do this one Python space manage.py make migrations means it will generate a migration file along with SQL statements. How it will generate based on your model class what we included. My model class name is employee class. Based on this model class, the moment when we use this command python space manage.py make migrations, it will generate a migration file automatically. Look at this migration file generate automatic. Who will generate migration files? ORM tool, object relational mapper. Then press enter. So look at this. It is generated migration file or not. Look at this migrations for your current application myapp2. Where is migration file located? Inside the myapp2 slash migrations folder slash your migration file name is what? 0001 underscore initial.py. So create a model called employee. Let's go and check out myapp2. In this migration folder, previously it was empty. When we expand this, now we can see 00001 0001 underscore initial.py. Sir, what is there in this initial.py? Migration file is there. Who generate this migration file and migration code automatically? ORM tool generated. Look at this here, class migration. All migrations are coming from migration root name, initial equal to true, dependencies, no dependencies. Now we can see migrations dot create model. Your model name is employee. Fields are, look at this, your actual fields are name, address, mail, age. But by default, when user don't create any primary key field in the model section, says I don't have any primary key in the model section, automatically Django or ORM tool will generate ID. It is by default auto created primary key. So means so auto increment property. By default, one field will create that is called ID. So totally the table name is what? Employee table. This table contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields. 5 fields are there. So this is migration file. This is the model. Based on this model only, behind the scenes again, ORM tool generated SQL statements. Sir, where is the SQL statement? Show me. Generally, to create a table, we need SQL statement. No, create table, table name, something. So this ORM tool already generated SQL statements. Do you want to see that SQL statements which is generated by ORM tool? Yes. To see the SQL statement, simple, one more command is required. Look at this Python space manage.py SQL migrate. Okay, your application name is myapp2. Your migration file name is 0001. That's it. Python space manage.py SQL migrate command is required. This command is used to display the statements of SQL which is generated by ORM tool. Under your application myapp2, under your application migration file name is what? 001. Look at this 001. Whenever we have one more model, the migration file will be 002 like this only. So whenever I execute this command, now we can see this is going to be display SQL statements for you. Look at this. I'm going to let me close this window. I have to restart it because of some query missing now. Let me activate this virtual environment. Yeah, I'll show you. Env slash script slash activate here. After that, look at this. I'm going to start the server. I'm going to use this migration Python space manage.py SQL migrate and my app2 migration file name is 0001. Now you can see when I try to execute this command, we got this query. This is called SQL query. Create a table. By default, table name is application name underscore model class name employee. So ID integer not null, primary key auto increment, name varchar of 20 not null, address varchar of 30 not null, mail varchar of 30 not null, age integer. This is the query. Who generated this query? ORM. I have not generated any query here. Okay. Yes, it will create migration file, obviously. Okay, this is ORM generated. We have not written any query like SQL statement. Using this SQL statement only, table will create now. But right now, strictly remember, there is no database table created, sir. Yes, obviously, there is no database table created. Got my point? So how do you check, sir, whether table is created or not? You can check. There are few many ways to check this. What are the many ways to check database file is created or not? Simple. You can see this when after making migrations, after execution python space manage.py make migrations, only migration file will create and SQL statement will be ready to execute, but not database table created. How do you check, sir? Simple. In PyCharm professional editor, right hand side database is there. Already we have loaded for our project. So here tables are 12 is there. You just expand it, right click on it and refresh it. But do you find any table here in this my app to underscore employee table? No table is there. So table is not created. Sir, when it will create table, sir? Yes. When it will create table means after migrating, means after executing this SQL statements which is generated. So SQL statement need to be execute, create statement. How to execute that? Python space manage.py migrate. Migrate means then table will create, sir. Without migrate, table will not create. So Python space manage.py migrate I'm taking. This is Python space manage.py migrate. The moment when I hit this migrate, then it is going to create a table, sir. So migrations are applied on my app to 001 underscore initial. Now this makes create complete table with the name what actually your application name my app to underscore employee model table name. So how to check whether table is created or not, sir? Simple. Go to database and right click on main and refresh it. Once refresh is over, look at this table is joined 13 table, and in this look at this your application name is myapp2 underscore employee table is created. So right click on this, and do you want to see the table structure here? Right click on this myapp2 underscore employee and edit data. So we got this table structure as it is, like id, primary key, auto increment, property name, address, mail, age. Table is created. So this is what actually model creation and managing your table into clearly here with database only. So sometimes if you don't want to manage this table into database through, so we can also manage the table separately. So by using DB browser for SQLite, there is a DB browser tool for SQLite is there. You simply go to Google and type DB browser for SQLite, sir. So you'll be able to get other tool also like DB browser for SQLite. Now you can see DB browser for SQLite software is there. It's a SQLite 3 database browser it is. You can browse with any database, SQLite 3 database. You can manage it here also clearly. So here I'm saying DB browser for SQLite 3 Google search, and there is a download folder is there. So click on download option. You will be able to get these three options here. In my document also I have mentioned this link actually clearly to download this. So DB browser for SQLite 3 standard installer for 64-bit Windows. You can click on it and simply install it into your computer. So that is a small tool. So next install is nothing to worry here. So this tool is a separate software tool which you want to manage your database which is related to Django, sir. Those who are not comfort manage with database related files in PyCharm professional editor only separately, if they want to manage, I recommend this one, DB browser for SQL. Already in my computer DB browser for SQLite tool is there. Look at this DB browser SQLite. I'm opening this tool which I have installed already. Let me open this one, and you can manage your database related files for your project. How to manage? For the first time when we open DB browser for SQLite 3, you will be able to see this window, and in this window you can see open database. You can go to the location of your database file where we have created database file. My project file is available in the desktop only, so desktop I'm using, and your folder name is Django 630am. Data project name is this one, and database file name is db.sqlite3. After opening, then look at this lot of tables which is available under your project. It is there. But just now I created one of the model class, that is table myapp2 underscore employee. Here also I have managed. Look at this myapp2 underscore employee table here managed. Do you want to manage more? Like right click on it and simply browse table. Right click on this table myapp2 browse table. So we have created table structure also is available. So from here we can manage, okay, DB browser for SQLite, and also instantly we can manage on the spot. So directly databases, you can see here, refresh it once and your application related model table is created like this. This table, how it is generated, sir? Did I create any SQL statements? No. Only I did what? Into my model section, model represent database, I have created a Python class simple, which is called model class, which is inherited from models.model. After that, what I did, I execute one simple command, python space manage.py make migrations. It create migration file for us and along with SQL statement, SQL query. Do you want to see the SQL query? What command is required? Python space manage.py SQL migrate space your application name myapp2 space your migration file 001. So you will be able to print SQL statement. Do you want to execute that SQL statements? What we need to do? Python space manage.py migrate you have to use. See, these are the steps to create migrations, model migrations. Now you can see first step what we have to do, create your model class. After that, immediately go to terminal python space manage.py make migrations. This will create migration file along with SQL statements. This won't create any table for your kind information. Okay. Yes, step 2 is there. And to, if you want to see the SQL statements, what it generated internally, this is optional, not compulsory. Then we can see this python space manage.py SQL migrate your application name myapp2 migration file name is this one. Second step is optional, sir. Every time we are not going to follow. For the first time, I'm just showing that how to see the SQL server statements which is generated by ORM tool automatically. Third step is very important. Third step, through only table will create. First two steps table will not create. According to your model class, employee model class, behind the scenes some script is generated, migration script, and SQL statements will generated. Really the table when it will create after migrating means you are ready with SQL statement, that statements need to be executed. To execute that statement, then table will create. To do this, python space manage.py migrate, we have to use it. When we migrate it, immediately this SQL statements what it is generated executed. Once SQL statements executed after, then table will be created. After the table is created, do you want to check the table is created or not? You can go to database option, and once you refresh it here, so now you can see refreshment is over and your table name automatically created under application name under employee only, myapp2 underscore employee only. Okay, this is the case, myapp2 underscore employee. Or else if you want to manage this your project, your application level tables and database related, so DB browser for SQLite 3, this is other tool also there. Other than this DB browser for SQLite 3, other than this database management from PyCharm professional editor, you can also manage your database into admin panel, sir. Yes, admin panel also we can manage. Look at this admin panel, you know how to go to admin panel. So for going to admin panel, compulsory super user is required. Already in my previous lectures, I just create super user. Okay, let me start the server first. Python space manage.py run server. I am going to admin panel. I am trying to go to admin panel. So python space manage.py run server. Once we click on this run server, automatically what will happen? It will go to project level URLs. In the project level URLs, what is the URL section is there? This is by default one URL section is there. myapp2 is there. Directly it will run myapp2. After running myapp2, I want to go to admin panel. I have to hit this admin name only. Let's see this. It will go to template response, but I don't want to be here. I want to move to admin panel /admin URL name. You can hit immediately. Django administrative panel will open. Here I have to use username and password. Already in my previous lecture, I just created one super user. No, so along with super user, I have to log in. You know how to create super user. To create super user, this command is required, sir. So simple command python space manage.py. Okay, create super user like this one, and it will ask you super username and password. You can follow the credentials. After that you can log in. So I have already super user. Our super user is Sherry, and Sherry. Sherry. Click on login. Now you can see the moment when I log in as a super user with the name Sherry, but we don't have any models registered here. Employee model, application to model, your database files not at all there. Yes, by default there don't be any models included or application names included in Django administrative panel. The because, just let me log out here, not required. Okay, because why sir it's not available your applications and model related stuff? You said you can also manage your database, your models, employee model into admin.py also. But look at this, every application is having one admin.py file, but in this admin.py file I have not registered any models here. After registration of your models, then your models and tables applications will be available. How to register your model means simple, admin dot site dot register. Yes, I have to register my model class employee. But look at this here, employee is a model class which is coming from models.py, but we are into admin.py. Is the employee class is available admin.py? No. How do we make available this employee model? Yes, we have to import it from your application name is myapp2 dot models import employee. So employee model I am importing from that application to dot models only. Now we are making available this model class to this admin.py because I want to register this model into admin panel, admin.site.register of employee. After registration successfully, then let's restart the server and go to admin panel now. There you will be able to find your model registration. Look at this in admin.py slash admin, and our super user is this one like this. Now you can see your application to myapp2, and now you can see your model name is employees. Every time it is going to be plural name. If you're in the models.py model name is employee means it will be employees. There it was student means students like that. So employees. So here you can see add employee. So we can add details also, name, address, mail, age, like this. Here I'm not adding. If I try to add, what is happening? We will continue that in tomorrow session clearly step by step. So this is the representation of your model into admin panel by registering your model class into admin.py compulsory. So you can manage your models into admin.py. You can manage your models into database here in the PyCharm Professional, or you can manage your models into other third-party tool, that is DB browser for SQLite 3. So these mechanisms are there. Slowly you'll understand. Tomorrow I'll continue from here again, and also mostly tomorrow I'll explain this all files which is relevant to us. After that immediately we'll start HTML basics, sir. No more for that. So this is about today lecture. And already I have sent all of you complete Django PDF. You just practice it, and also 5 Django lectures I sent. So download that all 5 videos, sir. I have given download permission. Don't keep that videos into Google Drive permanently. Okay? Why? Because if I delete from my side, you can't able to access again. So I'm giving download permission for all my students. You can download the videos daily basis. So after this session, after 1 hour or afternoon session, you will receive this video number 6, Django 6th session. So like this daily we will upload the video. You can download it. And already I sent complete PDF documentation, Django soft complete PDF. You can go through that. Just start practice. And one thing I can say surely, without practice, so Django you cannot understand. So practice is must. Okay. So please do practice. Don't be delay here. Otherwise you will get confused in upcoming sessions. Still you have 1 week time anyway. From tomorrow we'll start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. So within the 1 week time, you just make setup of Django properly and try to create model, views, templates. Okay, we done. Today model view template all introduced over. From next session onwards, whenever I start Django, we'll go for MBT pattern, how it will coordinate clearly. We'll discuss in detail. So that's all for now today. You can use this link for next 2 weeks continuously. Okay, whenever link is going to change, I will let you know that. Okay, no problem at all. Not required. I'll make it SQLite 3 knowledge is not required. We are making managing SQLite 3 automatically integrated. Not required. Normal basics are required. We will cover it on the flow. Okay, you just follow this.